feel my heartbeat keep on rising. I know your love is the truth, so put it on me, put it on me. I want to be dancing with you. I feel my heartbeat keep on rising. I know your love is the truth, so put it on me, put it on me. I want to be dancing with you.
For more music, check out our Spotify and YouTube playlists. Enjoy!
I can read you so well, probably better than yourself. I do believe I got just what you need, so maybe you should let me help you. Got all these things you wanna be. So let me in, cause I believe in what you're dreaming, baby. Eventually you're gonna see it's for the feelings. You're not alone now, don't you shut me out. Before we would start to speak, I could make you fall so hopelessly, make you rethink all the ways you look at everything. I could be the one you want endlessly. How do you do that thing you do so well, making me want you for myself? Maybe it's just that I need what I can't have. So won't you try to help? Got all these things you wanna be. So let me in, 'cause I believe in what you're dreaming, baby. Eventually you're gonna see it's more than feelings. You're not alone, no, don't you shut me out. Everything you say, everything you do, everything you say, everything you do is for you. Everything you say, everything you do, you have no clue, no, oh no.
when I feel you closer, closer, my heart is beating harder, stronger. 'Cause when I feel you closer, closer, my heart is beating, my heart is beating, my heart is beating, my heart is beating. 'Cause when I feel you closer, closer, my heart is beating harder, stronger. 'Cause when I feel you closer, closer, my heart is beating, my heart is beating. Whoa.
All right, up first, we have Kansas State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma currently ranked third. Home game for Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a 28-point favorite in this one. White Tonto, who you got?
Kansas State. Hot cow patty confirmed. Oklahoma, 90% Indian reservation. 10% white trash. White Tonto take Oklahoma. Lay 28 point.
All right, White Tonto. Coming up next, we have Louisville on the road at Pittsburgh, an ACC battle. Pittsburgh is a 3-point home favorite in this one. Who you got?
Louisville defense, like Indian freedom, does not exist. Pitt, slightly less bad. White Tonto take Pitt. Lay 3 point.
All right, White Tonto, back to the Big 12 here. Iowa State on the road at TCU. Iowa State, of course, got humiliated. But they're actually a 2.5-point favorite. Who you got, Iowa State or TCU?
White Tonto give TCU magic leaf juice. Cure corona. Iowa State bring shame to all Midwest. White Tonto take TCU on money line.
All right, Tonto, staying in the Big 12 here. Texas Longhorns on the road at Texas Tech. Another road favorite. Texas is an 18.5-point favorite in this one. Who you got?
Texas make White Tonto very mad. Castrate sacred animal, bull. Bevo, no nut. Sam Ellinger, also no nut. Texas Tech almost lose to Sunday school team. White Tonto pick Shorthorn, lay 18.5.
Okay, now this is one of my favorite games of the week here. Army on the road at Cincinnati. 2 undefeated teams, 2, I think, top 15 teams, top 20 at the worst. Cincinnati's a 13.5-point home favorite. Who you got?
White Tonto have big problem. American Army. White Tonto take Cincinnati. Later point.
safety and security in the workplace begins well before anyone reaches the front door.
Start with a parking permit program so you can.
Ooh, what about this one? West Virginia on the road at Oklahoma State. Another Big 12 matchup here. Oklahoma State is a 7-point home favorite, but of course they looked like hot doo-doo when they played last week. West Virginia or Oklahoma State?
Oklahoma State more disappointing than White Tonto first wigwam. West Virginia pull big upset. White Tonto take Mountaineers on the money line.
All right, big rivalry game here. Two teams that appear to be heading in opposite directions, unfortunately for you, White Tonto. Florida State is an 11.5-point underdog on the road at Miami. Now, we know you're a homer, but try to be fair. Who you got? Your Seminoles or the Hurricanes?
Miami Hurricane is Indian of college football world. They have no home. They have no stadium on campus. They must travel Trail of Tears to Hard Rock Stadium. White Tonto still pick Miami win big.
All right, there you have it. The official picks from White Tonto, the newest super fan. You guys know what you let me know what you guys think. Anyway, good luck betting the games this weekend. BetNow.eu, promo code Uncle Lou. Good luck. Enjoy your Saturday, and I'll see you guys again real soon. Have a good morning.
How? This White Tonto. Delivery. I need 3 cornucopia. Yes. I am in 3rd TP. 1,000 thank yous.
If my man was wearing this, I would be.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Clap your hands, clap, clap, clap. Stomp your feet, stomp, stomp, stomp. Spin around, spin, spin, spin. Alright. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Wash your hands, wash, wash, wash. Shake your hands, shake, shake, shake. Brush your teeth, brush, brush, brush. Alright. Good morning.
Shitter's full.
Hi. Yeah, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou. Live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it also in addition to that as well. How's everybody doing? On a Friday. Uncle Lou flying solo again today. But Big Dog Brett will be swooping in to save the day at about 8:30. So you don't have to listen to just me, which is good for you. That's what's on the agenda today. And I got to figure out a better work schedule. You know what I wish I would have done? I wish I would have spent all summer talking about how much I love college football and really hope that we get to see some and really hope that these teams play. And then at the end of September, when they announced that they're playing, complain nonstop about the number of games they're playing. I wish I could do that. Man, I sure do hope we get some football this fall. Man, I love college football. I'd do anything to see some college football. Fast forward 3 months later when teams announce they're playing reduced schedules. I can't believe these people are playing 8 games. Nobody said a word about the SEC playing 10 games, though. Big Ten playing 8 games is the end of the world. Pac-12 playing 6 games is the rapture. Yeah, I'm tired. I worked 20 hours yesterday. Pac-12 is coming back in November, Raylan? No, I didn't see that. How many games are they playing? Alan, you partied for... Alan, I'm going to be honest. You don't strike me as a guy that does all that much partying. Bad Dog says, today's generation is stupid. They have no idea how dumb they are. But yeah, keep thinking education is a joke. Boy, you make a good point there, Bad Dog. But what you have to keep in mind is that approximately 40 to 45% of the American population has been boycotting higher education in particular for about the last 20 years. And we're starting to see the fruits of that. Drizzle, I don't know where you've been the last 7 months, But there's a worldwide pandemic going around called the coronavirus that's caused a lot of businesses to close, schools to close, sports leagues to cancel or postpone. I don't know why anybody ever assumed college football was immune to that. How many games is Major League Baseball playing? 60? Well, that's not fair. They normally play 165. Now they're only playing 60. This is ridiculous. What's the point? I mean, people complain nonstop when these leagues canceled, and now they're complaining that they uncanceled. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. The Pac-12 hasn't made the playoffs since 2015. What do you care if they play 12 games or 2? Man, I wish the Pac-12 wasn't playing. 7 games? What is that? Why can't they play 0 instead? Nothing surprises me anymore. Maybe there's people, maybe it's you, I don't know. Maybe there's people that think this whole thing was made up just to give the Pac-12 a better chance to make the playoffs. Like it was all a scheme hatched in the commissioner of the Pac-12's office back in February. What can we do to increase our chances as a conference to make the playoffs? Some guy in the back raises his hand. We can start a worldwide fake news, Democratic Bill Gates common cold hoax that infects the entire world, kills 200,000 people in the United States, shuts down 60% of the economy, ruins millions of people's lives. We can announce that we're canceling in July. But then, at the end of September, when the hour seems darkest, we will announce that we're going to begin play in November with a 7-game schedule. And then we will make the playoff. I guess that's possible that happened. Jay Drizzle, I'm going to be honest. If it needs to be explained to you why the Big Ten is playing 8 games, then explaining it to you won't do any good. I don't think I have the ability to simplify it enough to explain it to somebody who, with everything that's gone on in the last 6 months, needs it to be explained. I don't think that's just me. I don't think anybody could. Anybody watch any football last night? I didn't even turn it on. Let's see what happened. UAB 42. South Alabama 10. UAB covered the spread in that one. I'm pretty sure. Anybody excited for Middle Tennessee at UTSA? Here's what I want to know. Here's what I want to know. A month from now, when every conference is having to cancel games because there's no more bye weeks left and a team has coronavirus and there's no room on the schedule to postpone it, and LSU. But what if LSU ends up going 7-0 and has to cancel 3 games? Is Jay Rizzle going to come in here and say, this is ridiculous? LSU ain't, he's an LSU fan. LSU ain't got no business being in the playoff. 7 games. This is stupid with a capital D. This is dumb. You complaining about the Big Ten playing 8 games? Ain't nobody in the Big Ten playing 8 games. No, not a single team in the Big Ten is playing 8 games. So you're going to be, the longer the season goes on, the madder you're going to be. It's going to get to the point this season where there's not going to be a single team in America that Jay Rizzle thinks deserves to be in the playoffs. Look at LSU. Purposely gave some of their players coronavirus so they'd have to cancel 3 games just so they could go 7-0 and get in the playoffs without having to play 10 games. Middle Tennessee at UTSA tonight at 8. Man, I hate that I'm going to miss that. Uh-oh. Jay Rizzle, you're about to be mad as hell, sir. Jay Rizzle's mad as hell, and he's not going to take it anymore. Uh-oh. 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 That's what we used to say when our kids were like 1 and 2 years old and they were learning how to walk. They take a couple of steps and then fall back on their butt. Uh-oh. Look at Notre Dame. Look at them. Drizzle. Hey, Drizzle. Look at Notre Dame. Scared of Wake Forest. Notre Dame, look. Notre Dame know good and well they can't go 11-0. Let's cancel Wake Forest. Blame it on the coronavirus. Then we're going to have to play 10 games. Next month, we'll cancel another one. It'll be 9-0. And in November, we'll cancel that Clemson game. 8-0. Somewhere along the line, somebody's going to cancel a game with us. 6-0, number 1 seed, Notre Dame. Come back tomorrow, Ballard. Tennessee going 5-5. I think that's probably their most likely record. Unless they lose this weekend. And then it'll be worse than that. But you're going to see a lot of weird records this year because we're used to judging records against a 12-game schedule. So you're going to see teams with 6 and 7 wins, and in a typical year, that's not a very good team. You could have some pretty good 6 and 7 win teams this year. Ballard, I hope, those grandparents you stayed with over the summer, Ballard, I hope one of them gets coronavirus. Don't worry. Don't worry. If you think I'm wishing harm on them or something, don't worry. It's just a cold. I've only had 1 cup of coffee today. I'm fixing to go make another one, though. fixing to go get a refill, though. Yeah, good morning, but you're on with Uncle Lou, though.
Hey, what's going on, Uncle Lou? Big dog.
Yeah, I do need one drizzle. Now, only having one cup of coffee is not the reason people are making stupid comments, though. The amount of coffee I've had doesn't have any impact on whether or not someone makes stupid comments.
Are we talking about Dan Mullen again?
No. He makes stupid comments no matter what. War Eagle.
Yeah. War Eagle, I guess, right?
That's what he said. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad when your team can't get it done, so you have to root for another team that also couldn't get it done.
Yeah, that's what I believe you have a term for that. What is that term again? Nut riding.
Yeah. Dan Mullen dusting off his Auburn hat. Let's see. Who does Georgia play? Oh, this is gonna be great this year because Georgia plays a bunch of trash cans the last half of the. All of our good games are in the first half of the season. Yeah. So this is gonna be great this year because you're gonna hear Dan Mullen say some really crazy stuff this year. Like, can you imagine this? Dan Mullen's running off the field, sometime in the middle of November with the oh, wait a minute. This is the wrong year I'm looking at here. What am I doing? No one knows. I don't even know. It's not likely anyone knows.
You certainly keep us guessing.
Yeah, well, that's part of the plan. And I love it when a plan comes together. But I just okay, here you go. November 21st, Dan Mullen runs off the field after a huge Florida victory over whatever podunk team they're playing that day. Reporter's interviewing him. He looks up at the reporter and goes, more cowbell, I guess. Or November 28th, Dan Mullen runs off the field after a huge victory over some nobody. And he looks up at the reporter and he goes, well, I don't know what to say except for go Cox. and his wife is standing right there going, I've been telling you that for years.
Like I say that every Saturday right next to a bus.
Yeah. I'm all about the Cox. That's what Dan Mullen's wife is like. Finally, Dan, thank you. Thank you.
I'm curious, is she able to buy lipstick in tube format, or does she have to buy it in bulk from Costco?
I'm sure she gets it in bulk so she can rub. I mean, it takes a lot of lipstick to rub it all over 85 scholarship players.
Is it just the 85 scholarship players, I wonder?
Yeah, I don't think the walk-ons get laid.
Well, they could always transfer to South Carolina.
That's true. Well, at South Carolina, walk-ons get jumped, get beat up by 13, 14 players at a time. At South Carolina,
that's why they need that. That's why they need that love and after, make them feel all fuzzy again.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I guess I don't know if you've covered it this morning yet, but the Pac-12 has sheepishly drug itself back into the arena.
Oh yeah, we covered that a little bit when there was people in the comment section crying that they were only playing 6 games.
Yeah, I don't even know if they're going to be able to play that.
Nobody's playing all their games.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. No one's doing that. No one's playing all their scheduled games.
I'm curious how many teams are going to use that as a strategy.
None.
How they're going to no. I'm wondering if like you said, Notre Dame is going to call out.
No. There's not a single team in America that is going to pretend to have coronavirus so they don't have to play a game. That's not going to happen.
Did you see that? Apparently, even though the Pac-12 has said they're moving forward, that like there's certain places like in Boulder, Colorado. Colorado that says that they have limitations, that they won't allow students between the ages of 18 and 22 to assemble.
They won't?
They will not. So the last hurdle in the conference has faced on Thursday is when County of Boulder, Colorado, issued a prohibition on gatherings among university students between the ages of 18 and 22 years old. Assuming that the order doesn't get extended, the Colorado Buffaloes can begin practice after 14 days, and the team would have 4 weeks to prepare for the opener on November 6th, which is a Sunday, which is weird.
I don't understand what you're saying. The order expires in 14 days, so that's when they can start practice?
They're saying if it doesn't get extended, then yes.
Oh, okay. So that order would apply to football practice?
It would apply to...
Like they can't practice right
students.
now? Is that what you're saying? I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, they can't practice right now. They can't practice right now at all. So if they start...
But in 14 days they can. Is anybody in the Pac-12 practicing right now?
I don't know. They said that there's nothing prohibiting some teams from practicing, but I think California's got the most hurdles for those guys to clear.
Right.
So, and then they're starting on like November 6th or November 7th. And that gives them what? Almost exactly 8 weeks to be done.
You know, if you don't start till December 19th, you're almost guaranteed to get in the playoffs because you'll be undefeated. And that's probably what a lot of these teams are doing. These laws are made up.
I'd have to agree.
Yeah.
I saw the article posted on ESPN said that the Pac-12 has not received an indication that it would be ineligible for the college football playoff due to its reduced schedule. And then, you know, they go on to say, you know, the Pac-12 goes on to say that, you know, our
playoff committee has one job. I mean, you can read the rules of the playoff committee. What are they?
Pick the 4 best teams in the country.
Right. There's nothing in there about 12 games or 6 games or 13 games. Has Notre Dame ever made a playoff?
Not that I'm aware of. That's probably because they suck.
No, they have.
Oh, they did? Oh,
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you consider that a playoff appearance,
yeah.
It's kind of like Oklahoma.
And they only played 12 games. They didn't play as many as the other team. Not fair. But they still got in. If Oregon is 7-0 and beats all 7 teams they play by 50 points, there's no guarantee they will or won't get in. It's going to depend on what's going on in the other conferences. But they're not going to be getting – no conference is guaranteed a spot in the playoff. And I don't think any conference will be eliminated. But the playoff committee is going to take – you know, they're going to look around and say who's the 4 best teams. I mean, the Pac-12, don't they normally play 12 games?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't really follow them basically at all.
Well, yeah, they play 12 games. And, you know, and they
the
haven't
only
made the
reason
playoffs in 5 years. So I don't really know why people are getting themselves all worked up about the Pac-12 playing 7 games in an attempt to sneak into the playoff.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I was pointing out the fact that I think the reason that they are trying to get into the college football playoff is for the payout. Each one of the there's a $66 million base payout for each of the Power 5 conferences if they're eligible for the college football playoff. Not if they get in, but if they're eligible.
Are there people that think the Pac-12 shouldn't get their share of the money or something?
No, I'm not saying that. I just think that with the Pac-12 is coming in late, and I think a lot of people are like,
the
really?
SEC came in late. Should the SEC get playoff money? The SEC came in a month late. Should they get playoff money? What's the cutoff? What's the cutoff for how late can you come in? Is the SEC so as long as you're playing by the time the SEC plays? I mean, how does this work? The SEC can start late, but if anyone else does, it's a huge problem.
No, I don't care when they start. I mean, they could start.
Is the ACC complaining about the SEC starting late?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Anybody that's complaining about college football games is just a college football Karen. Because these people were crying all summer long about how bad they wanted college football. Now they're complaining about how much college football they're getting, or who's playing this many games and who's playing that many games. It's insane.
I just want to see what uniforms Oregon's going to have this year. Those guys, I basically have watched Oregon and Washington, and that's the only two teams from out there I've watched. I've watched some SoCal, but those are the only two teams I've watched. One because of Jacob Eason, the other one because I just have always really liked the fact how Oregon switches up their uniforms. They got that big sponsorship, and they always have just the coolest uniforms.
Yeah. They don't do the 100 different combinations anymore like they used to, but they still got plenty of them.
Oh yeah. So what's your thoughts on the one and done uniforms that they're gonna swap around this year for UGA?
I like the uniforms. They look good. I like them.
There was some talk, and I don't know how much truth there is to it, but there was some talk that South Carolina was going to do a blackout for Tennessee. You heard anything about that?
No, but they wear black uniforms a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's usually because they're going to their own funeral, but
I like the different uniforms. I mean, I don't always like every alternate uniform, but I mean, I like the idea of alternate uniforms. I mean, you know, UGA had the Power Rangers one against Boise State. They were ugly, but I mean, I like when teams do the alternate uniform thing.
I like whenever they do, especially when they do something with the helmets, which we don't do very often, but I like it when they mix that up.
What was that, 2008 or something? We wore black helmets against Florida, or 2009?
I think it was 09. Sure made getting an autograph on one of them a little more difficult.
Yeah. Auburn's not a cupcake. I wouldn't put Auburn in the cupcake category. Auburn's a pretty good team. I mean, most years.
Oh, you got Dennis, man. He's a professional troll. That's Dennis.
Do you think is it more likely that Dennis is 14 or 60? If you had to choose one or the other, do you think he is 14 or 60?
Oh, 60 for sure, man. You know what 14-year-old do you know gets up at 8:30 in the morning and jumps on YouTube? They're playing Fortnite, man.
Yeah.
Not to mention his grammar's pretty decent most of the time, so I lean more towards older. He's probably down at the Denny's right now.
He kind of reminds me of George.
George.
Wouldn't you like to see Dennis Wilson? Dennis Wilson, do you have Skype?
Facebook, something.
I would love to get Dennis Wilson on the show on Skype.
See if we can get him in.
I think that would be
great.
I think everybody would want to see that, actually.
Says he's messing with Drizzle. Man.
Says he followed me on Facebook. What are the chances that's his name?
Oh, I'd say almost zero. There's no way. Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Wilson. I like Dennis. Or whatever his name is.
He never fails to show up after a UGA loss, I will tell you that.
Well, he's in every comment section I've ever been to.
That is a fact. Every time it doesn't matter whether you go to your stream, Pigskin Pete, BVD, even Volunteer Roadshow, he's over there.
I think he even made a comment yesterday about the Dog Nation Daily stream.
Really?
And something he said in the comment section there or something. So he's like, he even goes to the shirt and tie channels, you know?
Every time I try to watch Dog Nation Daily, I just feel like it's like going to Subway, right? So you know that there's like some meat in there somewhere, but there's just a lot of bread. It's a lot of bread. I get it. It's tough, but it's tough to do a show every day. You do it, but it's tough to do a show every day. But I really feel like a lot of times it's an hour and a half long show that he could probably put in the 45 minutes.
Well, and they have two things working against them as far as getting me to watch them. Number one, I don't go to YouTube for buttoned up,
ESPN
pretend
quality.
ESPN types. That's not why I go to YouTube. I want to see a fan yell and scream and trash talk and all that. That's what I'm into. And also, I don't do the sunshine pumping. I don't. You know who Mike Griffith is?
Yeah, I know Mike Griffith is. Yeah.
Dude wrote 45 articles, literally every other day, all summer long. Another JT Daniels article from this guy. He's the savior. The minute everyone and their brother knew that Dwan Mathis was the starter, now every other day it's Dwan Mathis is the greatest QB, and it's literally the same article every other day from this guy about. But meanwhile, he was the main one pushing JT Daniels all summer long. But now, when it's clear he's not only is he not starting, he's not even playing this weekend. Now it's just, Dwan Mathis is, what a great, he's this, he's that, this is what he's, blah, blah, on and on, on and on. And it's just like, Georgia could announce that they just figured out that Joe Cox had another year of eligibility. This guy would immediately start writing articles about how amazing Joe Cox is about to be this year. I don't go for that. Now, a lot of people do. In fact, more people do than don't. The majority of fans, and this is not an insult to anybody, but the majority of fans are casual fans, and that's what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And
all you need to validate that statement is go to any University of Kentucky forum, channel, thread, article, news show, anything to do with University of Kentucky, and they are absolutely delusional.
Yeah.
About how good that football team is. They're going 10-0, no doubt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where are you guys getting this information from? Did you guys wipe your roster clean and then sneak in the 85 Bears overnight? Because I don't see it happening. You got most of the same players you had last year. Your recruiting class was just okay. You haven't really made a head coach change. So why all of a sudden? And it's because of the media, the football media that does that sunshine blowing.
Yeah. No, Richard, I don't think anybody who hangs out in these types of channels on YouTube is a casual fan. Casual fans don't spend their time watching channels like mine.
I think it's one of the big things that I really like about the YouTube format.
A casual fan watches 5 minutes of one of my shows and hears me say something about Jake Fromm, and he never clicks on this channel again. So people who are here are not casual fans.
Yeah. The nice thing about having a YouTube channel is that it does give you the opportunity to really engage with other fans out there, and they'll tell you the truth. You know, they'll tell you after the end of a game, you'll get some that think Jake Fromm is, well, what do you call him? Jesus, Jake Fromm, Christ.
Yeah.
They think he's just the world's, you know, end all be all. And in the moment that you say, you do realize that his stats were worse than Grayson Lambert's his last year here, right?
Right.
Oh, I can't, you know, those same people were calling for Grayson Lambert's head on a stick. I
like the people who blame all Jake Fromm's troubles on the fact that Lawrence Cager got injured for half the season last year.
Well, I've made the comment multiple times. I'll make it again. You're going to tell me that these 3- and 4-star and even sometimes 5-star receivers that got those rankings from high school quarterbacks, they were making all these wonderful catches from high school quarterbacks, and a 4-star Jake Fromm can't hit him?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's like the people that used to say in 2016 when receivers were dropping all those passes from Eason, and the Eason haters would be like, well, Eason throws the ball too hard. Well, Eason threw for 1 million yards in high school to a bunch of receivers who couldn't catch good enough to get college scholarships anywhere. But they somehow managed to catch all those balls from Eason, but we couldn't. But it was Eason's fault for throwing the ball too hard.
Yeah.
I guess they got their wish because we went from Eason to Fromm. So, you went from a guy who could throw a football through a wall to a guy that can barely throw a 6-yard out route.
So do you think do you think Fromm's problem, do you think Jack Fromm's problem was that he was not developed by UGA, or do you think that he got scared? Do you think he was injured? I mean, or do you just think he just didn't have any talent?
Well, it's not that I don't think he has any talent. I think he has a limited skill set physically, and there's nothing coaching can. No amount of coaching was going to give Fromm mobility. No amount of coaching was going to make Fromm run a 4.6 40 instead of a 4.9 40 or whatever, a 5.0 40, whatever it ended up being. Most of my problems with Fromm weren't anything that anybody could do anything about, Fromm or the coaches. You know,
I'm just trying to figure out how a almost 300-pound offensive lineman can run a faster 40 than Jake Fromm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Now, I mean, I know there's some things people can do about their speed. If you train and, if you're a track star, you can get from a 4.5 to a 4.45. But, I mean, there's no one that can go from a 5 to a 4.6 through training. No. I mean, you know, some people are fast and some people aren't. Some people are athletic and some people aren't. Some are mobile and some aren't. And Fromm just wasn't. That's I don't know that that's anyone's fault other than genetics. So the problem, the coaching staff's problem, was picking Fromm to start with. Not.
I agree.
Now, maybe the coaching staff gets some blame for Fromm not looking any better the day he left UGA than he was the day he got there, in really any area at all. I can't think of anything that Fromm did better in 2019 than he did in 2017. Anything. I can't think of anything. I mean, Jake Fromm's biggest fans in 2017, the best they could do to pump him up was to say, well, he doesn't turn the ball over. Well, he didn't turn the ball over in 19. I mean, he didn't get any better. In fact, he got worse. I think he had more turnovers in 19 than he had in 17 or 18. So I don't know, but I don't know. He's gone. None of that matters, but he's gone.
So ESPN put out an article of the top 25 most important players in college football playoff chase. I don't know if you saw the article or not.
Where?
But,
Where'd you say?
the top 25
No, where?
most important
You said
players.
where?
Oh, on ESPN.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on there this morning.
And they've got the number one. They posted this article this morning, and the number one is JT Daniels or DeJuan Mathis.
Yeah.
Did they not pay attention, ESPN, that they're starting DeJuan Mathis, or is it just me?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I think too. I mean, Kirby, they're not going to Kirby. That's another thing. I talked about this last night. Would it kill Kirby Smart to come out and show a little bit of confidence in DeJuan Mathis in public for everyone to see? I mean, I get the whole, well, let's let everyone compete. But come on, we're playing Arkansas. We're 2 days away, 1 day away now. All you can do in your press conferences is tell everybody how you pray to God on your knees every night that JT Daniels can be cleared by Saturday. Not a word about, you know what, DeJuan Mathis is our fucking starter. Because he's the best quarterback on this team. That's why. And he's going to go out Saturday. I mean, why can't Kirby come out and say that? Even if he's not.
I agree.
Even if he doesn't really think that. What would the harm be a couple of days before we kick things off for Kirby to come out so because DeJuan will hear it. Everyone will hear it and say, you know what? I get all the questions about JT Daniels, and he's a talented kid, but DeJuan Mathis is our starting quarterback because he's the best quarterback on this team. Would it kill Kirby to give DeJuan some confidence? A kid that has battled through an entire year where he had to ride the scout team because of brain surgery, and just when he thinks he's going to get a shot, when Fromm announces for the NFL, Kirby runs out and gets Jamie Newman, and then when it doesn't look like that's going to work out, he runs out and gets Walmart Jack Fromm and JT Daniels to come in, and it's just like it seems like everything Kirby does is to push DeJuan down. Would it? And now Kirby, you have no choice, sir. You have no choice. You either have to start a true freshman Carson Beck. You have to start a human trash can in Stetson Bennett, or lo and behold, God forbid, you have to start a 6'6", 230-pound, athletic, black quarterback who can throw the ball from here to East Jabib.
Well,
what would it hurt to come out and give that kid some confidence and say, and just tell the media?
I don't.
You know what? It sucks that JT Daniels got hurt. It sucks that he's not cleared. We wish everybody was cleared and available to play if needed. But DeJuan Mathis is our starter because he's the best quarterback on this team. It appears that the only reason DeJuan Mathis is starting now is because JT Daniels can't. And Kirby has that's on Kirby. Kirby has made it appear that way.
I hope it's not the case. And I don't understand the reason for not going ahead and announcing it, because why the mystique? You know who you're starting at this point. You already know. You're not going to surprise and start JT Daniels or Carson Beck or just surprise start DeJuan Mathis. You're not going to wake up Saturday morning and go, well, I guess we're going to let DeJuan play. No. And it's not like you're going to surprise the other team. It's freaking Arkansas. I mean, if we were playing Alabama, I could see some people saying, well, they want to keep it under wraps because of X, Y, Z. Alabama's already announced their starting quarterback. Arkansas has already announced theirs.
Yeah, do you think Nick? Yeah.
Problem.
Do you think Nick Saban is sitting around going, man, the only chance we have against Mizzou is to keep our starting quarterback a secret?
Exactly.
No,
he's not. The quarterback situation has been and seems to continue to be mismanaged at the collegiate level for UGA. It just what I would love to see is I would love to see DeJuan Mathis come out and just hang 60 points on the board effortlessly, and 3 touchdowns with his arm and 10 touchdowns with his legs.
Listen, Saturday is the biggest day of DeJuan Mathis's life, because if he doesn't play a almost flawless game Saturday, then guess what? Next week every single day, Kirby's going to get asked the question, and the answer is going to be the same. And unless DeJuan comes out and plays an absolutely flawless game, we're going to be in this same situation next week heading into the Auburn game.
Well, see, that's actually to DeJuan's benefit, because we know that it is impossible for Kirby Smart to blame a quarterback. He's going to blame the defense. If they lose a game, he's going to blame the defense. It's never the quarterback's fault.
It definitely was never Fromm's fault. Yeah, that's for sure.
So do you think that and I got to ask this question only because of the silliness of it. They have the number 2 most important player in all of college football in the chase for the CFP, as is Bo Nix. Do you agree with that?
No. No. Auburn's got legitimate question marks other places. Who's going to run the ball? What's their offensive line going to look like? How are they going to replace all that NFL talent on the defensive line?
They lose something like 30 players overall?
I don't know. I can't remember the number, but they've got offensive line. So I'm curious to see Bo Nix play. How much has he improved passing the ball from year 1 to year 2? But I don't understand why he's that seems strange to me. I think it's pretty likely that Bo Nix is better this year than he was last year, and that Auburn is worse this year than they were last year. I don't think Auburn will be as good of a team this year as they were last year.
I don't think that. And then they've got Miles Brennan at LSU. I mean, since you're talking about LSU, they've got him at number 4. And I think a big problem that's going to happen for Miles Brennan is that everybody is going to expect Joe Burrow caliber quarterbacking, and they're not going to get it.
No,
they're not even going to get close to it. And that poor guy is just going to get beat over the head all season long. If he has one game where he has one bad game, they're going to throw him out immediately, put in the backup. That's what you're going to hear all season.
I don't get it. Bo Nix completed 33% of his passes last year of 10 yards or more.
Sounds good when he's playing us. I like that. It's a good stat.
He was the only person to score a rushing touchdown on us last year, wasn't he?
For Auburn?
For anybody, period.
I think so.
I know we didn't give up a single rushing touchdown to a running back all year, and I think Bo Nix in week 10 was the first player we gave up a rushing touchdown to.
I think he punched it in at like the 3 or something.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, there were several times last year where we shut teams out that they could have taken a field goal just to put points on the board. But they were at a position where, because our offense was terrible, they were in a position where they thought they might be able to pull back in the game. So they went for it on 4th down rather than kicking a field goal.
Right.
But as far as holding people to a rushing touchdown, I'm good with that. Giving up just one per year to a quarterback, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's been a long time since anybody did that.
So who do you think is the next biggest player in the college football the season's kind of going to hinge on that guy, besides maybe Najee Harris?
Spencer Rattler. Who else? Kyle Trask. Quarterback is the obvious. It's hard for any one player at another position to have that big of an impact to be on this list.
What do you think about ETN?
I think he's the first or second best running back in college football.
So do you think if that guy has a bad game, how bad do you think it will hurt Clemson?
Not very bad in their first 11 games.
I think that guy is such a super important piece to that offense. I mean, I know they got weapons all over the field, but I think having that kind of guy in the backfield, especially for Clemson, and while Trevor Lawrence is not, the most mobile quarterback, he's certainly able to make you pay. When you mix Travis Etienne into that backfield, it really makes it difficult to run that offense without accounting for him, or run a defense without accounting for him. I think Travis Etienne is probably going to be the most important, maybe besides Najee Harris, the most important running back this season. He just has a lot of weapons, man. I mean, he's not the most powerful runner. He's strong enough, but not necessarily the most agile. But his straight line speed is incredible.
Louisville Troll, your phone must have froze up. Power your phone off, wait 30 seconds, and then power it back on.
Is he saying a stick or something? I didn't see that guy.
If that doesn't work, blow in it.
Talked to our good friend BVD last night, checking in on him.
Yeah, how's he doing?
Pretty good.
He's doing
Hi,
good.
Pretty good.
It's 9:10 a.m. Right now in Big Canoe, it's 63 degrees and cloudy. Today, there'll be scattered showers with a forecasted
What are you doing? Shut up.
and a low of 61.
My phone just started talking to me for no reason.
My kids do that all the time. Start talking to me for no reason.
So I don't know if I've actually I don't know if I've said this on my stream or not on my show, but we are expecting another one in December. So we will now have 4 kids.
Well, you told me that a while ago.
Yeah.
At Outback, but I wasn't allowed to say anything.
Yeah, my wife's been kind of after me. She's like, "You gonna put that on the show?" I'm like, "I don't know. I wasn't even thinking about it. It just kind of came up now." So,
I mean, y'all collect kids like an orphanage, man.
Well, in about a year, I'm getting rid of one. So a few years after that, I'll be rid of another one. So I'll be back to 2.
That's a lot of mouths to feed.
One of them is probably going to be fed by Uncle Sam. The other one, my daughter, who was by far the smartest among us, simply because she doesn't have any of my genes. I don't think she's mostly her mom's genes. But she's actually wants to be a veterinarian, and she is trending. She's leaning towards going to the Georgia Veterinarian School of Medicine. So, kind of excited about that.
Yeah, UGA has a good vet program.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking for any reason to get student tickets, sneak in.
Yeah. Mike Reiser, thank you for hitting the PayPal link this morning, sir. He says, why does a milking stool only have 3 legs? Because the cow has the udder one.
Oh my God.
That was something. I think he's got one more too. Let's see.
Jeez. So my son asked me a pretty funny dad joke. You want to hear it? When does a joke become a dad joke?
I don't know.
When it becomes apparent.
Ha 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 ha. Mike Reiser, thank you again, sir, for hitting the PayPal. He says, real question. Thoughts on the NCAA easing up on bowl eligibility this year? I don't know where all this is coming from lately. They did this months ago. It's a 500 record announced this a while back. You have to have a 5. We talked about it on this show over the summer. You have to have a 500 record.
Now, that sticks.
I don't really know what it matters.
Play,
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there anybody out there that thinks the Pinstripe Bowl is being played this year? So I don't really know how much any of this matters. But yeah.
If you were one of those people that were begging, crying, pleading, demanding, threatening for college football, any football you get is a bonus.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are going to forget how easily we could have completely lost college football this year. Could have been completely gone. If it wasn't for Major League Baseball and the NBA doing as well as they've done, we probably wouldn't have college football. You guys should probably send a letter of thank you over to the people at the Big 12 for standing their ground, because that was really the conference that kept it in the mix, at least in my opinion. When the Big 12, when the Big 10 and the Pac-12 folded up, I think everybody was looking at the Big 12 going, man, if those guys fold, it's probably over. And there was, I guess, about a week, maybe 2 weeks there where it really could have happened. And so if you get a bowl game, count your blessings. Did we lose you, Lou?
No.
Oh.
I'm going to let you answer this question, though.
Sure.
How would a playoff selection work with every conference playing different amounts of games?
The playoff selection is going to work just like it always has. And if you go back to the BCS days, it's going to come down to the court of almost public opinion. Who do they think is going to be the best? Now, if you're going to ask me is it possible for a 2-loss team to get in this year? Yeah, it's possible.
There's only one rule for the playoff committee, and there's 0 requirements. The only mandate the playoff committee has is to pick the 4 best teams in the playoffs. That's it.
Yep.
There's nothing that says pick the 4 best teams that played a minimum of 10 games, pick the 4 best teams that also won their conference, pick the 4 best teams that also wear white cleats. None of that exists. The only job the playoff committee is mandated to do is to pick the best 4 teams and put them in the playoffs. How they go about doing that is up to them. They can use any criteria they want, or they can use no criteria at all. But
they could throw names in a hat, and there's nothing we could do about it. But
yeah.
So to give you a little bit more information than Warzone, at least on my opinion, the playoff committee has got a really tough job this year. If you end up with a team like Alabama, let's say Alabama goes out and they beat Georgia, they beat LSU, they run undefeated in the West, but they dropped 3 games because they were out with coronavirus, right? So technically they have 3 losses.
Right.
And then you have a Georgia team in the East that goes undefeated. Do you think until they get to the SEC playoff or whatever, or SEC championship, Alabama beats Georgia, but they've got 3 lost games, so to speak? Do you think they're going to keep Alabama out of the playoffs? I don't think so, because everybody in America would go, yeah, they didn't play Mississippi State, they didn't play Arkansas, and they didn't play Mizzou, but they beat the hell out of everybody else they played, and they beat Georgia in the SEC championship. You don't think they're going to put Alabama in? You're crazy.
Yes, Irish Medic, I could definitely see that. I could see no one in college football going undefeated. Someone probably will, but it's such a weird year. And it also depends on whether or not you classify a forfeited game as a loss. For example, what if Oklahoma finishes 9-0 with 2 forfeits? Whether they forfeited or the other team. You know what I mean? So I think it's possible no one finishes undefeated by those standards. Brett hung up on me. I must have irritated him. Maybe his phone died. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, it knocked me off.
Huh?
Yeah, I got knocked off.
Oh,
I'm back.
Okay, good. You're calling from the wrong number again.
Yeah, it's in my house. I have terrible reception on my cell phone.
Gotcha.
And nobody has a house phone anymore. So.
Yeah, that's true.
I showed my kids a rotary phone, and they thought it was a jack for the car. So.
Huh.
I think that the college football playoff committee is going to probably treat the postponed or dropped the games just like they would an injured player. You know, they've already said they have a caveat for that. So if you've got a player that's, you know, out for injury, they're going to take that into consideration. So I think it's going to go the same way.
Yeah. I honestly think what's going to happen is I think they're going to do the least controversial thing possible, and I think they're just going to take 4 conference winners, and whether they're undefeated, 1 loss, 2 loss, but whatever, played 8 games, whatever it is, and in that scenario, all of the things being equal, the Pac-12 would be the team that got left out, and the only way they would get in is if they had their conference champion was undefeated and one of the other conference champions had 2 losses. But I don't see them doing anything crazy this year.
Yeah. In an imaginary world, if you had to pick a conference and throw UCF in it, which conference would you pick? A Power 5 conference.
The Big 12. You don't even have to think about it. The Big 12 should be standing outside of UCF with a bullhorn and a blank check.
Begging them. Yeah.
Them and
How
Boise
do you think they
State.
do in the Big 10?
Huh?
How do you think they do in the Big 10?
Well, they're not. The Big Ten's got 14 teams. They're not joining the Big 10, but Central Florida makes the Big 12 better immediately. Central Florida would be in the top half of the Big 12. They're not Texas or Oklahoma, but they're also not Kansas, Texas Tech, Kansas State, Iowa. They're better than all those teams. At worst, they'd be 5th in the Big 12, so that immediately makes the Big 12 better. Same with Boise State. Put them both in there yesterday.
If you had, can you imagine how much better their recruiting would get?
Yeah, you'd have a pipeline to Florida. It would increase your TV revenue. It would open up all new TV revenue markets in Florida. There's literally no reason not to add them. You can't even use geography as an excuse. You already go to West Virginia. Now, not just go to Florida now. And it's not like these teams are taking Greyhounds to games. You know, this idea that, the conferences need to be regional. Why? These people are getting on planes. What do they care?
Well, I mean, geography is a kind of a weird thing because, I mean, if you've got, look at Notre Dame. All of their other sports are in the ACC. Notre Dame is nowhere near the Atlantic coast, in my opinion. They're closer to the Midwest.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame having to travel to Miami is no worse than Texas having to travel to Miami. What's the problem? Add Central Florida and Boise State, get to 12 teams. And both of those teams would be better than half the teams in the Big 12. You know?
Oh, and not only that, I mean, it would legitimize UCF's playoff contention if they're serious. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, if the year that they claim a national title, I can understand why they claimed a national title. I don't fault them for claiming a national title. But if they were in the Big 12, they would have a more direct avenue. You know, they would be able to say, there's no way to keep us out now. If that's your intentions, then why not try to go that route?
Well, I guarantee you, Central Florida's not turning a Power 5 conference down. I mean, they would get in immediately if someone offered them. So it's not not that Central Florida doesn't want to get in. It's that the Big 12 won't ask them. I don't get it either.
Well, unless the Pac-12, you know, they might turn that down.
Do you think Notre Dame will join the ACC for good if they win it? No. Notre Dame cannot give up that lucrative USA Network deal that they have. I figured out real quick how important Notre Dame's TV deal was with NBC 2 weekends ago when I had to search for an hour to find them playing on USA Network.
I didn't even know USA still had a network.
Yep, they do. I think it came on. Right after a Law and Order marathon.
Oh my goodness! You sure it wasn't on the Turner Classics movie channel?
They had to interrupt an all-day Medea-a-thon to show 3 hours of a Notre Dame game on USA Network a couple of weekends ago. I said, okay, yeah. Keep telling me about how important your TV deal is. You know how much Notre Dame makes off that TV deal a year? $15 million.
What?
You know why?
Yeah.
NBC can only broadcast Notre Dame home games. That's it. So at most, NBC is broadcasting 6 games a year. So it's not a conference. You know, every SEC team's making $50 million.
Wow.
But every single game is on. You know, if Georgia plays at South Carolina or South Carolina plays at Georgia, either way, ESPN has the rights to that game. NBC only has the rights to Notre Dame games that are played in South Bend. That's it. You know, when Notre Dame played at Georgia, the game was on CBS, not NBC.
Yep.
When we played at Notre Dame, then it was on NBC. But this whole thing about how we can't join a conference because of our TV deal, that mattered in the 90s. It doesn't matter now. Notre Dame's getting the short end of the stick on the TV deal now. Now, there's other reasons that Notre Dame fans give for not joining a conference, but the TV network excuse is dead. In fact, look at the two teams. Look at the two teams that have their own network. No one watches. Most people can't even name the other team with their own network deal. Everyone knows Notre Dame because they've had it for so long. But I'm going to be honest. Because Notre Dame is the only college football game that NBC airs, I tend not to watch a lot of Notre Dame games because I just don't typically turn my TV to 26 to NBC for college football. Yeah. You know, at noon, I've got 5 TVs out here. At noon, one goes on ABC, one, ESPN, ESPN2, SEC Network, ACC Network, Fox Sports, Fox Sports 1. There's literally like 10 other channels I would go to for college football before I ever went to NBC.
So are you still fighting with DirecTV?
Oh, no. I don't even have DirecTV. That was when the SEC Network first came out like 5 years ago when I called them about the SEC, and they got it too right before the season started, like they were supposed to, like I told them to. Yeah, Richard, the Longhorn Network is the other one. Thank you.
Yeah.
No one watches it. Nobody.
No.
I have the Longhorn Network. I've never turned it there, ever. Not one time have I ever gone, I wonder what's on the Longhorn Network. Ever. Not a single time.
So the Longhorn Network cracks me up because my wife, whenever we first met, she was a Texas fan. And I've always been all about college football. And we had DirecTV. And I called in, ordered a sports package because my wife wanted to watch Texas. We lived in Nebraska. There's a lot of Texas fans there. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I'll order it, invite people over, got ribs on the grill. Everything's going great. Game's about to come on. So I'm like, all right, let's flip over here and find the game, and I'm looking, to the 2,000 channels I now had or then had through DirecTV. Couldn't find it. Called in DirecTV, waited on hold for 30 minutes. And they're like, yeah, we don't carry that. Like, what do you mean you don't carry that? I'm paying you guys like $300 a month. I wanted all the football channels, which you told me you had. So, yeah, her answer was, well, there wasn't enough demand for us to carry it.
Yeah.
So that ended that adventure.
The
So
same
recently,
thing happened here. I have Dish Network now, and the same thing happened at the beginning of last season with the launch of the ACC Network. They didn't have it.
Yeah.
And they ended up signing a deal to carry it 3 hours before the first football game kicked off. That Thursday, Clemson was hosting Georgia Tech week 1 on a Thursday night on the ACC Network. It was the first live game the ACC Network carried. And at 5 o'clock that afternoon, Dish Network struck a deal with the ACC Network. After I had spent half the day downloading Hulu, I believe it was, and signing up for their free trial and loading the Hulu app on my smart TV and all that, so that because they had the ACC Network and you basically got it for free through their free trial. Like literally, as soon as I got done doing all that, the alert came across my phone that Dish Network struck a deal with the ACC Network, turn your receiver to channel 402, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I did that for no reason.
Wow. So I watch almost as much college football as you do. And I recently have been using YouTube TV. I don't know if you've checked into that or not.
No. I can't take a chance on any of that kind of stuff. I have to. I can't take the chances with all that streaming and having to hunt games down on 19 different apps, and I can't do that.
No, well, I carry with the DirecTV app, not DirecTV app, YouTube channel app. It carries. See if I can find it here real quick. It's got ESPN, ESPNU, the ACC, SEC, Big Ten. I mean, it's got every channel that I watch on college football. So
it has ABC, NBC, and CBS.
Yep, and local channels too. And it's compared to what I was paying when I had satellite. It's the way to go.
Yeah, I pay $150 a month for satellite, but it's worth it for me for the convenience. I don't have to learn how to work all that other crap. And if I want to watch a game, all I have to do is pick up a remote, press a button. I don't have to worry about. Anything.
The ACC, the Big Ten Network, CBS Sports, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News, ESPNU, Fox Sports South, Fox Sports Southeast, FS1, FS2, Golf, Major League Baseball, NBA, NBCSN, NFL Network, Olympic Channel, SEC Network, and the Tennis Channel.
And can you watch it directly on your TV, or do you have to watch it on your phone and cast it to your TV?
No, I watch it directly on my. Well, if you have a smart TV, yeah.
Right.
If you don't have a smart TV, you can use PlayStation 4. You can use Fire Stick. You can use all that stuff.
And how many times can you be logged into that at the same time?
I watch it on my laptop, on my phone, iPad. I mean, I think we've had 5 or 6 going at a time, and no problem. And I'm pretty sure my brother's stealing my YouTube TV as well.
Oh, okay.
I think it costs me $60 a month. One of the big things I like about it, and I don't know if DirecTV does this now, but like it has all my local channels, all the ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, CNN, AMC, Comedy Central, MSNBC. It's got everything. But the only thing that I don't like about, I used to have PlayStation View, and the only thing I don't like about the YouTube TV is that I can't do picture-in-picture. But you've got like 6 TVs, so it doesn't matter.
This says you can only connect up to 3 devices to your subscription at once. If you're watching YouTube TV on your phone and TV at the same time, that counts as 2 devices in use. I don't know. I'll look into it. I don't know. I write half my TV bill off. I'm not worried about it. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. but I thought it might be a good backup in case you have a stormy day. How's the signal strength on that thing? Does it hold up pretty good?
What?
The satellite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't have any problems.
I thought years ago it used to be, if you got a heavy rain, you'd lose signal sometimes. I used to get furious about that when I was watching TV.
No, I go up on the roof and wipe that thing down with Rain-X.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you rake it while you were up there?
No.
Oh, man.
Who haven't we played? Thank you for the super chat, sir. He says, Lou, will you hurry up with the hype and hate video? I need a good laugh. Yes. I will hurry up with it. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do it today. How about that? I'll do it today. You talked me into it.
I was doing a little bit of research, and I found out where White Tonto came from.
Where?
The stadium for FSU is the DAWG Campbell Stadium.
Yes.
So I believe, it's just a theory. I'm still waiting for the 23andMe to come back, but I think he comes from the Okie Stadium. Is there any truth to that, Lou? Is that a possibility?
Okie Stadium?
Yeah.
What am I not getting?
The name of the FSU stadium is DAWG. Okie doke. It's kind of ripping on that. Moving on.
That went over my head. I'm not the brightest bulb.
That's the name of FSU Stadium.
Well, Doak Campbell Stadium is the name of FSU's stadium.
Yeah, DAWG. Yeah.
Doak.
Go ahead. Yeah, Doak.
And White Tonto got his name from Okie Doke?
No, that's where he's from, is Okie Doke Stadium. Never mind. It's a terrible joke anyway.
Lou, if you download YouTube TV with my family account, you should be able to check out YouTube TV on my account. No, I appreciate it. I'm really just not interested. I'm old and I'm not. It's a minor miracle this stuff out here works, and I'm not looking to do anything to. I'm not looking. It's not worth. What'd y'all say it costs $60? It's not worth $90 a month to me, which is, I guess, what I would save. I pay $150 for satellite now. It's not worth $90 a month to me to have to learn how to use all that kind of stuff. And plus, my wife would complain. I'm sure my wife would complain because she's less willing to learn it than I am. And she has to be able to watch 90 Day Fiancé on whatever channel that comes on. And Love After Lockup and Jersey Housewives and all that. So I'm not going through all that. But we're old and we're just gonna, we're not getting color TV. We don't need it. We're keeping our black and white TV. We're those people now.
Keeping the black and white floor model.
And I'm definitely not trying anything new as far as all that goes in the middle of college football season. There's just a 0% chance of that happening.
Joseph Sandberg asked, why doesn't DirecTV have the ACC network? Pretty sure they do. Pretty sure they do. As a matter of fact, it says on DirecTV, the ACC network is on channel 612. But it costs an additional $13.99.
Yeah, I have Dish, and I know we have it on Dish. It's channel 402. SEC network is 404. ACC is 402, and then Pac-12 is 406 or whatever. Big Ten 408. Or they're all right there in the 400s on Dish.
So, is making a hype and hate video about Arkansas like making a hype and hate video about Vanderbilt?
They're all the same. The team doesn't really matter. I usually don't do them for non-Power 5 teams, but other than that, I treat them all the same.
It's always interesting trying to find. I mean, I think it gets more fun the later you get in the season. After you can kind of see what teams have been doing all year. You can add some kind of spin to what they've done against other people. But starting out the season, it's a little bit tough for me. Louisville, that's a picture of me, just to the right of Lou. You just didn't know that.
Louisville, I already told you. Your phone is frozen. There's no, I can't. You have to fix that yourself. I can't fix that. Okay? Power your phone off and on. And if that doesn't work, blow in it. That's the second time now I've told you that. You got to do better. Be the change you want to see, Louisville, man.
So did you see that Razorbacks have added lights to their stadium now?
No, I didn't hear it. I'm not surprised, though.
They're calling it Red Glow Friday.
Been a long time since we played them there.
Yeah. So it might be interesting when it starts getting a little bit dark, which depending on how the game goes, it might or might not. But get overcast and late in the day, it might get a little dark in there. Fans are invited to participate in an expanded celebration this year as part of Red Glow Fridays. And they got a little picture here. It's all red. They're trying to even make it. Are they trying to make this the new Sanford Stadium West? They're already putting in the lights for us.
It's a copycat league.
I hear it. Poor Sam Pittman. He looks like he looks tired, man. Going into week 1, you got to play Georgia. So just better to just go ahead and get it out of the way, or poor guy.
Okay, Louisville, let me know when he says he's going to try it. Let me know when your phone resets and when it powers back on, blow in it, and then let me know if that fixed the problem for you, okay?
It's working fine on my end.
Yeah, it's working fine on everyone's end, except his. That's why he has to power off his phone and blow in it. But that'll fix it up. Just let me know. Let me know after you've completed those steps, sir.
So I don't know if you also know this. What's going on, Will? But apparently, I mean, if you've watched Braves baseball, you know how they have the cutouts in the stands.
Yeah, I've seen that. Silly as hell.
Apparently, Arkansas is doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean that was funny when it first started in baseball 3 months ago, and oh my God, look at that! But after you've seen it 2 or 3 times, it just looks ridiculous.
So they're using the same cutouts for they put him in for the soccer and the volleyball team home openers, and now they're transitioning him into the stadium. They're going to locate all of them in the first row.
Yeah, Big Lee, you know what I'm talking about. That's the only way to fix it. That's the only way to fix it.
Not doing.
It's taking Louisville a long time for his phone to reset, ain't it?
He's got one of those old Nokia monochrome colored phones, man.
Maybe it had to install a bunch of updates when it power cycled. That was probably part of the problem too. Now that it's probably updating now, and I'm assuming once his phone turns back on and he blows in it, he'll be seeing the right thing on the screen at that point.
Maybe he's trying to wash it. Yeah. Minor amount of submersion helps some of them.
Yeah. Jamie said he's got a flip phone like George.
Some of the new phones are coming out are pretty cool, man. Seen the one they came out with, looks like a slap bracelet, if you remember those.
I ain't seen that.
Yeah, I got it falling out. It's like basically it'll curve and it like stays on your wrist. Looks like a kind of like something out of Iron Man. It's called it's a Samsung slap bracelet folding phone.
I ain't seen that.
Yeah. Maybe we should get one of those, or Louisville should get one of those.
Robbie says high school starts today as well. Where you live, Robbie? It's been going on here for a while.
Yeah.
When did you take that picture of yourself? That's a screenshot from a video. Based on the background of the video, it had to have been sometime in the last 2 or 3 years. Oh, South Carolina? Okay.
Oh man, did you guys we still have friends that live in Charleston, South Carolina, and recently they had a guy who apparently had a seizure on one of the major roads there. Guy was doing 140, and he hit like 4 of their cars. He turned out the wrong way, and just absolutely devastation. You can look that up on the Google. Just absolutely insane things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The Central Carolina thing triggered that, but whatever. Have you been keeping up with Vandergriff at all in Prince Avenue Academy?
No. I watched some of his game when he played on ESPN a couple of weeks ago, and he got outplayed by the South Carolina commit.
South Carolina guy, yeah.
Gunnar Stockton or whatever.
Yeah,
but
Gunnar
I
Stockton,
mean, if Vandergriff would have came out and thrown 20 touchdowns, or the other way around, I'm not judging him on one game, but that's the only time I've ever seen him play.
Well, I was impressed that he brought his team back. His team was down significantly, and then of course he threw an interception there to screw it up. So sounds like he would fit into Georgia.
I mean, I trust the recruiting services. I don't watch high school football. Every once in a while, I'll watch a high school football game, but not very often. I don't even really follow recruiting. I go to 24/7 once a week, and other than that, Louisville guy said it didn't work. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Sandberg.
What do you see on your screen now, Louisville? I can't believe that did. That had to have worked. Resetting it and blowing in it, it had to have worked. I think you're making it up, Louisville. Try hitting it with a spatula. See if that works. That sometimes works.
I sometimes have to use a hair dryer on mine. Put it on the low setting on cool and just make sure you don't get it too hot.
Put it in the microwave and set the microwave to defrost. Throw it across the room.
A potato flew around my room.
Do you have a washing machine, Louisville? Which Florida State sound? You talking about, Will? All right, Florida. We'll see you next time, buddy.
Richard Smith said sticking in some rice in a rice cooker. I've tried that. It actually does work. Cleaned it too. So what's your typical game day ritual that you like to do Saturday mornings besides make videos?
Well, I watch Game Day.
So everybody knows, most of us anyway, we drink coffee when we get up in the morning. What's your preferred coffee of choice there, sir?
I don't really have one. I flavor it anyway, so the coffee almost doesn't even matter.
You do like creamer, or what do you do?
Yeah, flavored creamer, or I have an espresso machine now, so I'll make that most of the time anyway.
Oh man, I can't drink that stuff, man.
Will says, remember the sound effect you played a few days after Florida State lost to Georgia? No, I don't remember.
He already told you he's old. Jeez.
Play the Florida State sound. I don't know what you mean. Do you mean play the Florida State fight song or something? I don't know what you mean. Oh, like the Price is Right sound? Like that? Or this one? Florida State. FSU. Seminoles. James Blackman. Willie Taggart knows what he's doing. Bring back Willie Taggart. Mike Norvell can't travel with the team. White Tonto!
Go War Eagle.
Do you have a fart sound? No, I'm a grown man.
Rubber biscuit. What the hell is that? Jeez.
I have this one for when I win all my bets tomorrow.
I need to feel you, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money.
Lou, you need one more super fan.
Who?
The character Kramer from Seinfeld whenever he was a pimp and didn't know it. When you win all your bets, you can be that character.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I never really got into Seinfeld. I mean, I know who Kramer is, but I don't know the episode you're talking about.
So when you get a chance, look up Cosmo Kramer, pimp, and he bought this fur coat, and he was walking around town. He had like this big shag hat on, and he thought he was just really cool, and he didn't realize everybody around him thought he was a pimp. It's hilarious. Anyway, the old 1970s pimps.
If Louisville had text to voice, this is what it would sound like every time he left a comment in the comment section.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Is that why you blow in to get out that?
Take West Virginia. West Virginia is a 7-point underdog to Oklahoma State. Why? Take West Virginia on the money line. TCU, 3-point underdog to Iowa State. Take TCU on the money line. Alabama, anything under 4 touchdowns. I've been on a roll.
Yeah, you did cost me a little bit of money there. You made me some money, but you cost me some money.
Well,
I took Louisville.
Yeah, I did too.
And I lost that one. I wasn't fortunate enough to bet some of the other games as much as I did on that one. So it cost me a little bit. But
I started with 100. I'm at 412 now.
You're ahead of me.
And I'm 2 for 2 on underdog picks winning outright. 2 for 2.
This season, I'm following your advice immensely, and we'll see how we turn out at the end of the year. I'm not betting every game, but
I don't bet every game. I don't bet every game I pick either. I pick every game for the preview videos, but I don't bet 25, 30 games a week. I usually bet 5 or 6. On the Saturday morning show, I do the bets live so people can see the bets I actually make.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've made 2 already. I always check the lines as soon as they come out on Sunday. And if any of them look wrong, I go ahead and bet them. So I got Georgia at 24.5. It's up to 28 already now.
It's probably going to inch up to 28 now.
Yeah, it's at 28. It's at 28. It's already at 28. I got it at 24.5. So I'm in way better shape than people who are betting Georgia now. And I took Alabama on Sunday at 27.5. And as of yesterday, it was still at 27.5. But I would take Alabama under 4 touchdowns all day long.
Oh, yeah. Because Nick Saban's never going to take his foot off the throttle.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark Rogers says he bets 25, 30 games a week. I can't do that. I think the more games you bet, the more likely you are to lose, in my opinion, especially if you're betting the same amount on every game. I don't do that either, though. I bet $25 is my standard. But if I really like a game, I'll bet 50 or 100. Like the Troy game last week, I bet 120.
And if you're gonna bet on the Georgia game, you better do it now before it goes to 28.5.
If you bet more money on the games if you bet more money on the games you really like, then you can have a losing record and still win money. Like this past Saturday, on the games I actually bet on, I won 2 and lost 5. But overall for the day, I only lost $10 because the 2 games that I won were the 2 games I bet the most money on. So it made up for almost all of the games that I lost. So like I started with I think $370 on Saturday. I won 2 games, lost 5 games, but I only lost $10 for the day. I started with $370 and ended with $360. And then I won 2 NFL games. I won an NFL game Sunday night, and I hit an NFL game Monday night at $25 each, and that's what got it up to $412. And then on Sunday, I put $50 on Georgia minus 24.5 and $50 on Alabama minus 27.5. So my balance right now is $312. But that's because I have $100 in pending bets. So I have $300 to play with tomorrow.
So I lost on the Louisville game. I won on the Notre Dame, and I won on Clemson. And then I lost on App State because I was big on them. And then I had Syracuse for an upset, and I lost on that one.
Well, losing on App State, Uncle Lou told you to play Marshall on the money line to win outright. I won 2.5 times my money taking Marshall outright. I didn't even take the points. I bet $50 on Marshall and won 100.
And that was the bet that made me decide that I'm just gonna follow you. What's your betting this season? Because I was pretty upset about that.
Dago, generally speaking, no. In my opinion, parlays are a sucker bet, but that doesn't mean people can't hit them. People hit them all the time. Pete likes to do two bet parlays. I generally stay away from parlays. It's hard to hit one game, much less 2, 3, 4, or 5. And of course, you have to hit them all, or you lose them all. You know, if you do a 5-team parlay and you get 4 out of 5 right, you lose 100% of your money. So it's hard to hit. Now, the payouts are astronomical, but generally speaking, I stay away from them. Sometimes if I'm up, like right now I'm up, if there was 3 games I really, really liked, I would do something like that. But, $25 or something is what I would do, and it would win me 100 or something probably. I kind of wish I would have parlayed the Alabama game when Georgia was still at 24.5. That would have been... I might have done that, Georgia at 24.5 and Alabama at 27.5 on a 2-team parlay, but I don't know that I would do it now with Georgia at minus 28. I've never hit a 5-game parlay ever. The most I've ever hit is a 3-bet parlay, and that hasn't been very often.
I've never bet more than 2.
And when I do a parlay, especially if it's a 3-team, 4-team, or 5-team, whatever, I always make sure that part of my parlay is a game that's played after all the other games are played. So, like if I was going to do a 5-team parlay, I would do 4 college games and 1 NFL game or something. And if I hit all 4 college games, then what I do is I say, okay, if I win the NFL game tomorrow, that means I hit my parlay, and let's say I was going to win $200 if I hit it. I will then take $100 and bet the other way on the NFL game.
Hedge it.
That way, no matter what happens in that NFL game, I win $100. If the team I originally bet on wins and I hit my parlay, I win $200. but I lose the 100 that I bet the other way. If I don't hit my parlay, then that means I hit the second bet I made against my parlay, and either way, I'll walk away with a $100 profit in that scenario. But even that doesn't happen very often because it's very hard to hit parlays, especially when you get two teams. But the payout is not really worth the risk, in my opinion, on a two-team. But Pete likes them. But you always hear these stories about some guy who dropped $1,000 on an 8-team parlay in Vegas or something, and won $112,000 or something. But generally speaking, I think parlays are a sucker bet.
I want to jump into one of the more abstract bets here and see what you think on this. I know you talked about it whenever you bets previously, but I wanted to dig a little more into it. What do you think about the Cincinnati Army game? Obviously, I'm an Army fan, service member and all that good stuff. But
yeah,
I really saw some flashes last season from Army, and I think that they're probably even ranked number 2, maybe higher ranked than what they should be. But I think that they're capable of sealing the deal and coming in, maybe not winning the game, but coming within 13 against Cincinnati.
Well, yeah, they've been good the last several years. I mean, they finished ranked, I don't know how many years in a row now, losing only 2-3 games a year. They almost beat Oklahoma a couple of years ago. If I was going to play that game, I would play Cincinnati minus 13.5. But I'm not going to bet that game because I don't like to root against Army. If I was going to bet that game, I might bet the under. But Army slows things down, but. I mean, I think Army's really good, but I think Cincinnati's better.
Cincinnati has looked really good this year so far. I'm gonna be betting Army on this game. I'm gonna take them to close within the 13, but I don't think they're gonna necessarily win the game. But I think that's a reasonable bet to make. That Army is gonna get within the 14 points.
Yeah, it could happen. That's why I'm not gonna play it because I've seen Army keep a lot of games close. But I'm a believer in Cincinnati, though.
I'll tell you the guy that I almost kind of wish he would transfer away is that Hawkins kid from Louisville.
The little running back?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
That guy, I was watching a play. They were down, from about the 15 or 20-yard line. And you can obviously tell the play was designed to go to the right side. Ball snaps, everybody runs right, and then he sees that that's not going to work.
Yeah.
This kid stops on a dime and then just hits turbo and goes all the way around the left side corner. And I said, "Wow, this guy's on the wrong team."
If he could tackle, Louisville might have some.
I'm gonna watch him again this weekend.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
This weekend? Yeah, they Pitt.
Yeah, they play Pitt. Pitt's a 3-point favorite. That's not enough. Take Pitt late of 3.
Jamie almost says Cincinnati's winning the game. You're probably right. I'm horrible. After I went ahead and said that I'm going to follow Lou, I'm going to turn around and tell him immediately that I'm going to bet Army.
Army's a good team, though.
I was trying to get Lou to give me some encouragement, but he said no.
Well, I can't. I mean, I picked that game yesterday. I can't change my mind now.
I know. Just got one of those feelings. Now I'm going to kick myself.
Mosey B says, I want to see how Tennessee does tomorrow to see how the game with Oklahoma would have been. I don't know that you need to watch that. I don't think you need to watch the game tomorrow to know how that would have gone.
So, am I reading this right? Jeremy Pruitt just got a 2-year extension?
Yeah. $300,000 or $400,000 raise.
Weren't they like calling for that guy to be fired like middle of last year?
Yeah, but then he won his last 6 games of the year. He has the second. They have the second longest winning streak in the SEC behind LSU. I don't blame Tennessee. Who else are they going to get? They barely could get him. Remember, 9 people turned that job down. They better lock Pruitt up. Anybody dumb enough to coach there, they should give him a lifetime contract.
Do you think they would take Gus Malzahn?
Extensions don't mean anything. The raise is the only thing that matters. Extensions are pointless. Right. They mean nothing. The school can fire him tomorrow, and Jeremy Pruitt can quit tomorrow. The number of years on a contract is almost as pointless as regular season college basketball.
Well, it seems to me that the raise is important, but also the buyout seems to be pretty important because I don't know if they've learned their lesson yet.
Tennessee likes to be paying at least 2 buyouts all the time.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, they like that. That's their comfort zone.
I mean, I don't understand why they can't win more games. I mean, they got 3 head coaches on the payroll.
I know.
Speaking of which, talking about buyouts. Is this the year they get rid of Malzahn?
No, ain't nobody getting fired this year. Well, I won't say nobody, but whatever the average number of coaches is that gets fired in a year, you can reduce that by about 80%. Too many built-in excuses.
I really don't think they're gonna. I really don't think they're gonna get rid of Muschamp. Dago says Muschamp will be gone. I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
Yeah.
I think you have two reasons why you won't. Well, 3 reasons why they won't get rid of Muschamp. Number 1, he is improving the team. Number 2, he's like Lou said, he got all the excuses in the world. And number 3, I don't think the expectation at South Carolina is to go out and win a national championship. I don't even think the expectation there right now is to compete for an SEC championship.
No, but the expectations are to win more than 4 games.
That is true. Well, not this season. But
I'm talking about last season. I don't think anybody in the SEC is getting fired this year, but if anybody does, it will be Muschamp. Muschamp should be on the hot seat, and were it not for the coronavirus, I would probably predict him to be fired at the end of this year. But I think a lot of coaches who normally would get fired probably won't, and so maybe he hangs around another year, which is stupid. And another reason why he should be playing Ryan Helinski and not this jackleg from Colorado State that I guess, I don't know how many years of eligibility this guy's got left. I think he's been in college for 3 years. But I know he had some medical red shirts or got him torn the same ACL 3 times playing for Colorado State. Now he's going to be running from SEC defensive ends. I don't understand.
I gave him 3 games.
And it seems fishy because you bring Mike Bobo in from Colorado State, then you bring Colorado State's quarterback in as a transfer, and then you give him the job. So it's just weird. And I thought everybody liked Ryan Helinski, and then they come out and announce this other guy's going to start. I don't know. It in a year where South Carolina's never going to do anything meaningful, why would you not just let the younger guy play and get some experience? I don't get it. It's like in 2016, I didn't have any expectations for UGA in 2016. Brand new coach, Kirby Smart, all that. So I said, play Jacob Eason. What's the point in playing Grayson Lambert again? Why?
Right.
Build for the future. Play Eason. And that's what we ended up doing. And that whole thing went sideways after that with the Fromm and all that. But the point is, you don't get very many mulligan years in college football. You know, usually your first year at a school is a mulligan year where nothing you do really matters or counts. And this year being the coronavirus year, I think you kind of have a mulligan year. So if you got 2 quarterbacks, why not play the young one? I don't know. I don't get, especially if you're South Carolina. What do you have to lose? I mean, best case scenario for South Carolina this year is what, 5-5? I'm talking if everything goes right, 5-5.
Probably close to I could see it. I could see it going one game. Them winning one game they shouldn't have won, and them losing one game they shouldn't have won.
I mean, they're not beating LSU. They're not beating Georgia. They're not beating Florida. If they lose this weekend, they're not winning 5 games. If they can't beat Tennessee, they're not winning 5 games. So I don't understand going with this guy at quarterback.
So 2019, Ryan Helinski threw for 2,400 yards, might as well say, 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Yeah, and he didn't play the whole year either.
No. I mean, I don't necessarily think this guy's a bad quarterback. But and somehow he'll beat this guy out. I mean, I don't know.
Why didn't somebody tell me it was 10:15? Got to get out of here. I got to make that. The guy earlier told me to hurry up and make the hype and hate video. I got to get the hell out of here.
Oh, yeah. All right, yeah, you need to go.
All right, Brett, thanks for coming on this morning, buddy.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, talk to you again soon. All right, guys, appreciate y'all tuning in this morning. What's going on today? Yeah, hype and hate video. Yeah, so I'll have that out sometime this afternoon. It does take me a while to make those videos, so it might be late this afternoon. Brett, you can hang up.
My again.
All right. So it takes me a while to make those videos, but it will be out this afternoon at some point. And then, of course, tomorrow, College Game Day, 9 a.m. I'll be live on here 9 a.m. for College Game Day. The game stream schedule tomorrow. The Patreon people voted on the primetime games, which is good news for those of you who aren't on the Patreon page. I will be live streaming the Georgia game tomorrow. You know what I mean. You can't show the game. I'll be live streaming during the Georgia game. So just to set the expectations, if you've never tuned into an Uncle Lou Georgia game stream before, you can't show the game on TV. I don't do play-by-play. I don't stand around and read comments and answer questions for 4 hours. I watch the Georgia game. That's what I do. And then during the commercials, I'll run over and check the comment section and all that kind of stuff. But the stream is just me reacting to the game. That's it. You always have people that show up and, why isn't this guy showing the game? Why isn't he doing the play-by-play? I don't do play-by. I mean, I describe the plays sometimes, but I don't. Some people stream a game. They sit just like I sit here on these shows. They sit here just like this with a TV off to the side or something, and they just sit here and watch the game and do the play-by-play and talk. I don't do that. I don't even sit down at all. So most of you have probably seen me do a Georgia game stream before. But anyway, if you haven't, that's what it is. In fact, I think on my main channel, I made public all of last year's Georgia game streams. So you can go find one of those and watch it if you want to know what you're in store for. But anyway, so College Game Day, I'll be streaming tomorrow 9 a.m. for College Game Day. I'll have reaction videos posted on the main channel throughout the day based on what happens with the games. Probably around 3:30 or 3:45, I will start a live stream on this channel for the Georgia game. When that game ends, I'm going to do a primetime stream on the Patreon channel. So that's the plan for tomorrow. And then Sunday morning, the Your Season Is Over video, which might be the longest one ever made. I don't know. I don't know if there's ever been a day where all 14 SEC teams have played and it's been all conference games. So at least 7 SEC teams tomorrow are going to become eligible for the "your season is over" video. 7 SEC teams are going to lose tomorrow. So it should be an interesting "your season is over" video on Sunday. Keep Uncle Lou in your thoughts and prayers too. I am taking tonight my daughter and one of her friends to the haunted house, whatever they call it here, Plantation Blood or something, with their 2 boyfriends. So I'm leaving here at 7:00 with my daughter, going to pick up her friend, and then we're going to pick up each of their boyfriends, and I'm taking the 4 of them to the haunted house tonight. So keep that in mind too, if you can. So anyway, appreciate y'all tuning in this morning. I'm going to get out of here, get to work on this hype and hate video. It'll be up this afternoon. Appreciate you guys tuning in this week. Thanks for supporting the show. Shout out to you guys that hit that super chat. That's what keeps these live shows going. So big shout out to Who Haven't We Played, Waikiki, North Florida White Trash, and Definition 409. And over on the PayPal, we had Mike Reiser. I believe he was the only one this morning on the PayPal. Let me just make sure. I don't want to leave anybody out. Yes, thank you, Mike Reiser. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the show and the channel. It means a lot. All right, guys. Hope y'all enjoy your Friday. Check out the Hype and Hate video over on the main channel later this afternoon. My best guess is that it won't be up probably till around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. That would be my best guess. So check it out. And I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for College Game Day, which aren't they at Miami? Aren't they at Florida State tomorrow? Game Day? I believe they're in Tallahassee for the Miami for the Miami-Florida State game, I believe. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Check out Hype and Hate. Love you. Have a great Friday. Have a good weekend. And unless you're an Arkansas fan, I hope your team wins tomorrow. Have a great day.
It's a trap!